Hey guys, how's it going? Josue back again with another video on HearmeRaw. And let me just fact check myself real quick. If you follow me on Instagram, highly recommend that you follow me on Instagram because I do a lot of things there, a lot of good things. Let's see. Self-worth. Yeah, so on my Instagram, I have, how you have highlights. So one day I was listening to a couple of videos really having to do with like narcissism and things like that, and just like people trying to control your life, because I've been talking about that. If you've been watching my videos, I've been talking about how like growing up we are controlled in so many different ways by different people. All of the ways that we are controlled is not all the way intentional. Definitely the school system for the most part, and the educational system for a while, the information was controlled. We were being fed, we're being fed his history. History is his story. So that for sure is there. There is something that with the educational system, they are like brainwashing us. They are training us to become workers. They're not training us to be independent thinkers. They don't want us to think for ourselves. They want us to work. They want us to become another cog in a machine, and then you got the vaccine things happening. The vaccines are very toxic and they're doing things to us. So there is that agenda, but that's not what I'm focusing on today. On this video is more so for the people that were closer to you. So mainly it would be like your parents, could be your friends, could be family, and it could just be people around you that are like just subconsciously trying to kind of control you and manipulate you. And for the most part, a lot of us have this happen when we're children. So yeah, I posted that. It's in my highlights, and I watched those videos because I just want to educate myself in all the ways, when I was in college, one of my favorite classes was definitely psychology, how the mind works. It's amazing how the mind works. It's very interesting. You have to know how this thing works. The mind, the subconscious mind, it's a powerful tool, but it is not a good master. And most of us are being run by our minds. We're running through cycles. Things that happened to us when we were little are still affecting us today. The relationships that we had when we were little with our parents and our teachers and things like that is the same relationships that we are replicating today. Whether it's like it's a relationship that you're having with your significant other, your manager even, or your boss, or I said manager already. But any type of authority, you might replicate that same type of relationship. And for the most part, it's a relationship where where you're not setting the right boundaries, when you're not really being honest with yourself, when you're kind of living in fear. Most of the 9-to-5 jobs here, most of us when we talk to our managers, like our managers are above us. I prefer a job or an occupation to where whoever you're working with, you're working together, or where you talk like you talk to the CEO the same way that you talk to the janitor, because everybody in that business is integral. Everybody in that business matters, and sometimes you have people that are above you that will treat you that you're below them. And that's why I love veganism. Veganism taught me a lot, because a lot of times we think that as humans that we are at the top of the food chain, like we are the number one. But honestly, the earth would probably do a lot better without us, because the animals do so much. Look into what the animals do for the ecosystem. And when we're like overfishing the way that we do, when we're destroying so many terrains, when we're polluting the air, when we're, all the pesticides on the grass and and on the plants, killing the bees, killing the wasps, we need to respect these creatures because they're doing a lot for us. We kidnap animals and we put them in pet stores, and we own them. We think they're ours, and when we don't want them, we just throw them away. That's why now you're seeing there are laws like if you leave your dog outside in the cold or a cat outside in the cold, you can go to jail for that. People are becoming more aware of this stuff, that it's not just humans not at the top, and it's not about a hierarchy. We are all in this together. And so if you start your life with relationships that do not replicate that, you kind of go on your life doing the same thing. I'm realizing as of late that I've had a hard time really expressing my emotions. And growing up, I wasn't in an environment where I was, felt safe enough to express how I felt. And I held a lot of things in. I didn't really express things. And the only emotions that I would really express would just be anger. And I would only express that after a long time of just suppressing all the other emotions. You know, like I didn't cry for almost 2 decades. You know, I started crying again like maybe 2 years ago. Like once I started my spiritual journey and started going within, started meditating, started really feeling my emotions. Even when I first started my spiritual journey, I still try to separate myself. You know, I first started to focus on just the good, like, oh, it's got to be the good emotions. You know, there's no need to be angry. There's no need to be sad. No, let's be positive all the time. And that did not work. You know, that's the beautiful thing about life. Just try things out and you will get feedback. You will get feedback through your environment. You will get feedback through your body. You will get feedback whether or not it's working for you or not. And then once it's not working for you, then that's when you change. You know, insanity is doing the same things and expecting different results. And that's why we kind of live in an insane asylum, because many of us are just living through cycles. We're doing the same thing that we've always done. We're not moving forward. We're staying in our comfort zones. And nothing happens in your comfort zone. There is no growth in your comfort zone. You have to move forward. You have to evolve, you know. You have to make some changes, and this is crucial. So, and in order to make changes, in order to really move forward, you do have to know what you went through. You know, like me, I was kind of blind to my trauma, through my journey of like helping people and like getting to know people. Because growing up, I kind of stayed within the family circle, and I didn't make some friends, but I never built like really deep relationships. It was mostly all superficial. I wasn't being myself. I wasn't being authentic. I was trying to be what I thought society wanted me to be. And that's why I never really had true friends. And I always felt alone no matter what. You know, now I'm starting to make some real friends. Friends that I can come and talk to. Friends that I can even cry in their arms. That I can express myself with. I can express my emotions. You know, in society, especially as a man, we're not taught to express our emotions. There's a movie called Tough Guys. Definitely check out the documentary Tough Guys. Check it out. That was really eye-opening. And yeah, so we're getting to a place where, you know, we need a safe place. So my friend posted on Instagram as well, Erwin's. He posted something, he reposted something that talks about how for black families, it's important for the black men, the boys, to have a safe place in order to deal with their trauma. I see so many boys, so many men, not just boys, yeah, so many men that are walking around with trauma and that have like diminished their trauma. I was doing the same, like I said. It wasn't until I started talking to other people and seeing like, oh my goodness, like you went through some crazy stuff. And then I look back at my stuff. I'm like, my childhood wasn't that bad, even though it was. But at the time, I just didn't know. I had just kind of, I had hidden it away. I had stuffed it away. And, you know, I think it came back up when I was ready to deal with it. And it started coming up. And, man, it was really humbling. It really was really life changing to really face it, you know, because sometimes we are running away from our healing, and the reason why we're running away is because we just might not be ready to deal with it. You know, not everybody's ready to heal. That's why on your journey, make sure, you know, if you are on a healing path, remember this. It's not really your job to heal others, and you do not know exactly what they need. All you can really do, the best thing you can do is to love them unconditionally, to create a safe space in order for them to express themselves. Listen more than you speak, because you have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. So listen more. Learn to listen to people. People really want to be heard. People really want to be seen. They want to be experienced. You know, they want to feel safe. They want connection. And so many of us are dealing with trauma. And for the most part, a lot of us try to hide it. And we try to go through life living with the trauma and never working through it. And we think we're okay. And you can function. You can function. You can totally function while dealing with a lot of trauma. You can totally push it away. Because I did that. I pushed away my trauma for a while, and I was functioning in society. It looked like I was doing good, but I really wasn't doing good. You know, I would be angry. I would have so much self-doubt. I wouldn't trust in myself. I would always question what life was about. Like I really didn't want to be here. I was eating a lot of junk food. Ended up in hospital for dehydration multiple times. Almost became an alcoholic. Like I was escaping in so many ways, but you know, I did good in school. You know, I had a good paying job at the time before that job ended. It was a good paying job, and like things looked good on the outside for what society standards, but inside I was suffering. Inside I was so suffering, you know. And so you can function with anxiety. You can function with depression. Just because somebody's doing good in life, that's why you see like these actors and these celebrities, like they're having mental breakdowns. So you're finding them in a bathtub dead, or they're dead in their hotel room. Yeah, they might be making money, they might be successful, but what is really going on within them? So it's not about the fame, it's not about the money, it's not about the status, it's not about any of that, man. It's the most important thing really is to be authentic with yourself, is to be your true authentic self, is to express what you really want to express. So from a very young age, we're kind of manipulated into changing ourselves in order to please others. Like as a kid, you have the feeling you want to do this, but your parents might say you want to do this instead. And when that happens, you stop trusting your own instincts, and you start going to them for approval. So now, by the time that I was done with high school, like I had no idea what I wanted to do. All I did on my life until that point was listen to my parents, listen to my teachers, and listen to my elders, listen to the people that were older than me. That's all I did for my whole life. And then now I'm out of I'm out of high school. I have to choose a college. I have to choose a degree. I have to choose a path. But I had no idea what I wanted to do, but I was forced to just go. Like I didn't get the time. I never got the time to really experience and find out who I am. I didn't get into astrology until recently. Like that's why I really recommend astrology, numerology, and things like that. And there's many different ways. There's 16 personality tests. There's many different ways to kind of like to see what your personality is like, what your tendencies are like. And you might not even do any of those. You might just go live life and just go talk to people and just experience people, talk to a different variety of people, do a different variety of things, expose yourself to different things, and then see what happens, see what you like and see what you don't like, and learn to grow through the contrast, because everything is happening in order to kind of help you figure out like what you like more. So if you like this, do more of that. If you don't like this, then don't do that. So keep adjusting and keep growing, keep evolving, keep upgrading yourself. Just like an app. Look at yourself like an app or a business. Keep updating. A business doesn't just get somewhere and then you just stop. If they do that, that's how Kodak went out of business. You have to evolve. You have to keep on going. You have to keep asking questions. You have to be open to criticism. You have to be emotionally stable. You have to build up your foundation. You have to put in the work. There's a lot of things to do, but it is hard to do all these things if you are dealing with a lot of trauma. You can still do a lot of these things, but eventually the trauma will come to bite you in the butt. And like I said, you might be doing all these things, but when you're at home, you drink. Maybe you're drinking too much, or you're abusing marijuana. Like marijuana for me is a tool. It's a powerful, powerful tool, and marijuana has helped me. Cannabis has really helped me with my anxiety and depression and things like that. It's really helped me to slow down. Sometimes for me, I get so caught up in helping people and doing so many things. I'm a hard worker. I've always been a hard worker, and I do so many things. I've always done so many things. I'm a Gemini rising, so like I have different interests. I'm always thinking, and as a Pisces as well, I'm always thinking. I'm always analyzing. I'm always seeing, okay, this should be done. This should be done. Like my mind literally never stops. So marijuana can help me to slow down, or you can do CBD oil as well, and different herbs and plant medicines that can really help you to slow down, and meditation and yoga and martial arts, things like that can really help you to slow down. Ballet, things that require focus, calisthenics, to slow down the mind and to be present is very important. That way you can really figure out what you're dealing with. Other things that you do sometimes, they're just excuses to run away. You can't escape through these things as well if you do them too much. So yeah, slowing down and listening to your body. Also too, like with pharmaceuticals, that's another way that we can escape, is because most of the majority of the world, when something goes wrong with them, they go to their doctor, and their doctor prescribes them a pharmaceutical medicine, which should not be called medicine, because all those do is just they interrupt the signals of your body. They're messing up your connection with your body. They're disconnecting you to your body. Like the doctors, they don't see the body as whole, so they mess with one part of the body, not realizing that it's messing up with the whole thing. Even at simple things like Tylenol, ibuprofen, things like that, there's research being done that shows that these, they might numb your pain, but they also numb your ability to be happy. So the Tylenol and the Advil and things like that, they actually might be adding to your depression. Do your own research. Do the research. The research is out there. There are people dedicating their lives to getting this truth out there, and we need to just stop distracting ourselves and to really focus and to really learn and to inform ourselves, educate ourselves, so that way we can live our best lives. I'm here. I want to help you guys to express yourselves. I want to share you guys I'm sharing you guys with you guys my journey, so that way you can know that you can do it too. We're all human. We're not just human. The thing is, we don't know what a full-fledged human is like, because for the most part, we have been domesticated and we are being distracted and we're being pumped full of drugs. So we have to detoxify ourselves. We have to clean ourselves out. We have to, I've been vegan it's gonna be about 4 years, and definitely the vegan journey helped me out. Like I said, It helped me to realize the compassion. That now I see animals as equals, and now I started seeing animals as equals when I started eating a lot of raw fruits and vegetables, cleaning myself out, meditating, going out into the sun. Then I really experienced the oneness with nature, because there's seeing the animals as one, as equal. Then you get interested in nature, and then you realize that you are nature, and then you start to connect with other human beings. The human beings is the tough part, because the ego, man, the ego gets in the way. We fight, we want people to be like us. There's so many things going on, and again, it's belief systems that we need to get rid of. In order to upgrade your stuff, you do have to let things go. You can't just always take whatever you had. You have to realize what's within you that's not helping you, and you have to just let it go. Let it go. You can't just keep accumulating, because some of the new beliefs are not going to work with the old ones. So now you're trying to be happier, being more productive, but you might have to let go of some things. You might have to let go of alcohol and spending all the times out, or eating out all the time. You might have to start making your own food. You might have to start looking up some recipes, make some smoothies, some juices, and things like that, and hugging trees rather than hugging, like I said, a bottle of liquor. What's really benefiting you in the long run. So forgiveness as well. What's better, forgiveness or resentment? Resentment is poison. Forgiveness releases you, and because if you're holding on to resentment, it's poison to you. If you're not willing to forgive somebody, it's hurting you, not hurting them. So you need to let it go for yourself. You got to be selfish out here. You got to be selfish in order to be selfless. So that's why I shared. So I have that in my highlights. Feel free to check it out. On my YouTube channel as well, there's a list of I have a couple of playlists. You can check it out under the narcissist playlist. Just check it out and see the type of things that some people might be doing in your life, or behaviors that you experienced at a young age that might still be impacting your life today. And once you know what those behaviors are, once you know what those tendencies are, you can start to be aware, and you can start to watch yourself, and you can adjust, and then you can grow, you can evolve, and you can start, living your best life. So that's my video for today, guys. I really do hope you enjoyed it. Let's not be defined by our trauma, because if we allow ourselves to be defined by our trauma, and this is whether we know of our trauma, that's the thing. Once you figure out you did go through the trauma and you were messed with and things like that, do not be mad at the people that did this stuff to you, because they're going through their own stuff. You have to let that go. You have to forgive them. Forgive them. Know that it happened, but forgive them. It's not about accepting that it was good or not, but you're going to learn from it. All the bad things that happen in your life, for me, kidney stones was one of the most recent ones. But when the kidney stones happened, that's when I started eating the raw fruits and vegetables. So the kidney stones brought me to the fruits and vegetables, which brought me back to myself. So really, all the things that happen in life, they're all bringing us back to ourselves, because that is where we can go. There is no way out, but there is a way in, guys. There is no way out, but there is a way in. So thank you for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like this one if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.